Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute rants, which are going on to nearly 15 minutes now, so do apologise. The subject to this one is the possibility of another stealth tax hitting Scottish people. Now, this story is a bit bizarre because although Shona Robison didn't mention it, or failed to mention it, during last month's Scottish budget in the Scottish Parliament, it was actually included in the documents discussing the budget for Scotland for this year. And the idea is the reintroduction of the public health supplement for large retailers. And what that is, it's for, when it was previously incarnations between 2012 and 2015, it was for retailers that had a rateable value to their property of over £300,000. And it was only there charged to retailers who sold alcohol and cigarettes. So that's like quite a reasonably sized supermarket, not necessarily a big massive superstore size, but you know, even your sort of Tesco Expresses could possibly come under those rateable values, depending on where in the country they are, I suppose. And what it said on the official documents for the budget by the government, they were exploring the reintroduction of the public health supplement for large retailers in advance of the next budget. Next budget's due, obviously, December 2024. So, therefore, they're looking at introducing this new levy, reintroducing this new levy this year, which is a bit scary. Now, the way this worked before, when it was introduced 2012 and 13, it had a £9.3 pence in the pound levy for anybody with a rateable value of over £300,000. In the following 2 years, 2013-14 and 2014-15, it had a 13 pence in the pound levy on the rateable value of the property. Now, if we look at that for a minute and look at the minimum, if they went with the old rules of £300,000, that would mean a rateable value levy of £39,000 per shop. If you're a half decent size with a rateable value of £300,000, £39,000 extra. Now, it's anticipated if this goes ahead, it will recoup £100 million over a 3-year period. And this just stinks of more black hole filling. Don't let anybody kid you. Westminster, me, you, we didn't create the £1.5 billion black hole in the Scottish budget. The SNP done that. Not me, not you. Certainly not the retailers. The consumer will pay for it. And if they can manage to do that with the extra tax as well, it will probably still not fill the gap created by Humza Yousaf announcing that he was going to freeze council tax despite no planning on how he was going to cover it, and you and I paying for it. So it's just more nonsense, more bollocks, more buzzwords by the SNP, and you can bet your bottom dollar when this starts getting introduced summer to autumn, it will be Westminster's fault because Westminster don't give us enough money. We all know that, but the truth is the Scottish Government have created this black hole, and they made it even worse with Humza. So a knee-jerk reaction at the SNP conference when he wanted to get more plaudits for himself by just hastily announcing a freeze in income tax. People who are stupid believe things are free. They don't cost anybody anything. People who are normal-minded understand that country is just a bigger version of a business. And if you're going to spend something somewhere, it means you're either not spending it over here or you're actually going to need to bring in more turnover. And basically tax is one of the very, very few turnovers a government business has got. So when we get all these free things, which they're just reinventions, most of them are stuff that we've always had free. I was talking to somebody just yesterday, and we were discussing when we were kids, the amount of people we went to school with, they get free meals. The SNP would have you believe this is a new thing. It's not new at all. The only thing that's new about it is people who could afford it before are now getting it free. So there's no actually any benefit to anybody in the poverty line, because people in poverty or people with low incomes were always getting free meals, they were always getting free prescriptions, they were always getting free tuition, because you had bursaries and stuff available when I was a teenager. So these things are not new. They're just reinventing them and tartanising them a wee bit and sticking a bit of shortbread on top and telling us they're all fantastic. And all they're actually doing is giving people who could afford all these things in the past free. So when they're not being charged for it, then you've got to get it out another pot. And that's why we've got higher income tax rates. That's why we've got sugar taxes. That's why we've got different levies on alcohol for higher alcohol drinks in Scotland. Don't let them kid you. It's not because Westminster's bad. It's because they want to give so much stuff out free that's actually no benefiting the people who were getting it free anyway. The only people it is benefiting is new people that can get them free. And the rest is they're having to pay for it. So again, it's just claptrap, wooden dollars getting moved from side to side. But what will happen here, because this levy doesn't go on to the price of the alcohol or the tobacco that is the reason for charging it, this just goes straight on to the rates for a business. Now, they're not going to turn around and say, right, well, we'll put our cigarettes up or our alcohol up and make them more expensive than the shop, half a mile up the road that's not a rateable value of 300,000 or whatever they make the threshold. So they won't do that, but what they will need to do is they'll need to recoup it somewhere. And it's easier spreading it over everything, your lettuces and your cucumbers and your sausages and your milk and all these other things. So any business who's going to inherit a minimum, if they go in the same figures granted as previously, a minimum, if they use the old figures, the last time it was out, it would be £39,000. Now, I don't know why, but this was introduced under SNP power. It was taken away under SNP power. They didn't explain at the time why this public health supplement was being removed from the rates back in the end of 2014-15 financial year. They just stopped charging it. So they obviously don't believe it's a worthwhile tax to have, or they wouldn't have done away with it. They're just simply using it to try and recoup money that have lost elsewhere in their plans. And yet again, buzzwords, bullshit and bollocks. And the people that will pay are the people that go and buy groceries. And guess what? That's all of us. For their inadequacies. For something that they just decided 2015 we don't need anymore. For whatever reason. It's now needed again because they need to get the money in somehow. And you and I and everybody else that walks through the doors of a large supermarket will get, I dare say, £39,000 just to take off your bottom line and no pass that on to any consumer is a big ask for any business. What's that, £3,700 a month? You've just to write off of your profit. Businesses out there will only be making £3,750 a month. The ones who do, if they make £4,000 a month, if they suddenly just to break even businesses. It's ridiculous and it's just chaos. But there you go. It's another stealth tax for us Scots up here. So we'll be paying more, not only for our wages. We'll be paying not only paying more if you want a can of Coca-Cola, paying more if you want a certain different types of alcohol. You'll not be paying more if you get into a nice big shop soon to buy your groceries. They're crackers, aren't they? Anyway, as usual, if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and notifications, and YouTube will tell you when we put a new video out. If you're looking for something else to watch, down here's corner, you'll see some recommendations. And most of all, have a great day. Bye now.